Ricky, we're through to the semi-final at the South Challenge Cup, and that was a deserved victory, wasn't it?
I think it was. It was a scrappy game. I thought we started the better out of the two teams, and then Auchinleck got into it for a good 20 minutes. We struggled to get out of our box a wee bit, and they were putting balls on top, diagonals. But I don't think they really created any chances in that moment. There was one that came across and he's hit it over. But we slowly started to get back into that first half, and I felt we finished strong. I said to them at half time we needed just a little bit of composure on the ball. I have to admit, I don't think we really got that in the second half. It was a fiery game in terms of, you know, like the ball was bouncing about, and you know there was a lot of scraps and first balls, second balls by both teams. But I thought our work rate was outstanding. And you always need to work hard against a team like Auchinleck, because I've seen them many times before, and they work their socks off. They work very, very hard. That's, you know, due to their success. Their manager demands that, and I like to think we demand that here. So I was pleased with that level of work rate. And if you have that level of work rate, you get the breaks. Got the break with Luke Main, and it was a fantastic finish to win us the game.
Yeah. Last week it was probably an uncharacteristic display. We didn't create too many clear-cut chances, but was this week the perfect game to sort of respond in? Yeah.
Last week was probably one of the poorest we've played, if not the poorest of the season. For whatever reason with that, you know, going for Astro to Grat, little reasons potentially for that, but still we had to do better last week. It wasn't good enough. The boys accepted that, and you know, it's important to move on. Football's all about moving on, understand what never went right, accepting to an extent to say, right, okay, that wasn't us, let's be better the next time. And I thought we were far better. Just at levels of intensity alone allowed us to be better today, and that's why today was a big game. We actually had to go and get a result, because otherwise you go and get beat today. That's 2 in a row. You're like, right, okay, that's you know, you don't want to get any sort of poor habits in place. So to win the game in a hard-fought game and the way they done it, I thought it was excellent. I'm really happy for the boys.
Yeah, I asked Luke the same question, but we also had that game down in Ayrshire last year. What lessons did you take from that game, if any at all?
Nothing really. Like, I've been to see Auchinleck. I seen them on Wednesday against Clydebank. I seen them the week before against Irvine Meadow, and what they do, they keep going to the end. Every time they keep going to the end. They work hard. They never give up. You know, they've got a good fan base, so that there's a demand from a supporter's point of view. So they need to keep going. I just felt there were certain areas that we could get at them today. We exploited them to a certain degree. Those areas that I was speaking about. We didn't get enough control in the game to allow us to exploit them. Last game I felt, you know, they scored at good times. We actually played well on that particular day, if I remember right. But in terms of learning, nothing really. I learned more probably going to see them, and I know what they're like. 4-4-2 most of the time. 2 good strikers. You know, the boys who know, you know, solid back 4. Boys in the middle of the park can all play, and they can get about you. They don't give you a minute. So that's the way they play. That's the manager demands that. So we had to be on our A game today, and we were, and we took our chances, which is the obvious difference.
Yeah, was that final goal a perfect illustration of the way you want your teams to play football? Yeah. A quick turnover of possession, played through the thirds quickly, and it was a perfectly timed pass from Mark Kelly. He had plenty of options there, and obviously the finish.
Exactly, we worked on transitions, so like coaches speak, but it's transitions to attack. So what happens when you win the ball, because the game is always going to be about how many turnovers and what you do with them. Auchinleck put it on top of you a lot. I thought we dealt with that brilliant. The 2 centre-backs were fantastic today. Every turnover they tried to get the strikers in behind, but we dealt with that, and we worked on that in the week, and I was so pleased with the guys, because those wee moments lose you games, but they can also win you games. But for us on the turnover, I thought we were quick, we were a bit more into feet rather than over the top. That goal was testament to that. So pleased on that, you know, a coaching aspect, that they had the quality to go and complete that move at the time and score a goal.
I think we spoke a few weeks ago about we've played plenty of big teams this season, strong teams. We've played well, but not quite got over the line. Does this feel like a big step today, getting over the line against a team like this?
Well, the thing is, like all the staff, we all think the team's going to win every week, no matter who we play. You know, Civil was a disappointment, but it was a different game. You know, as soon as they scored, which I felt we could have done better in that moment of the goal, they just put their back five in. Makes it really hard, and the game is slow. The park was, you know, it wasn't slick. You know, I'm not looking for excuses here, but sometimes that doesn't suit us. But it's up to us to unlock the door on that. And why I'm referencing to that, because I felt that was a big game, you know, because that takes us up again, you know, it keeps us 8th place, etc. So, you know, on that side we lost our way on that way. But yeah, if you look back to the final last year that we were in against Talbot, could we go to the next level and go and win that final? We didn't do it, so I get what you're saying, but I think again Talbot in the quarters last year, again go and test yourself against a very, very good side. But we're a very good side. We're still in the realms of, you know, progressing the side and getting better. They've maybe reached their peak, if you want, to a degree. But we're in that moment of, you know, we're a young side. We came together a year ago or a year and a half ago. But this is where you are now, and how can we get to the next level? And that's about consistency and belief in doing that as well. So that's a long way. That victory will go a long way in you know, getting the belief on board to say, you know, we can beat anybody in the outside the SPFL, and then some, if that comes about at some point.
Yeah, and the next stage of this competition gives you the perfect opportunity to do that. Obviously, Spartans up at the top end of the league, but you'll feel like you can go into that game and win it.
Spartans have got a good front line, they're a decent enough side. We've let ourselves down against them, and there's no doubt about that. We've given them 6 points, you know, and that's one of the disappointments of the season. We've given away 6 points to a few teams, and that's caused us not to get as many points as we would have liked, rather than across the board maybe losing here or there. We've been relatively consistent, but we've not done well enough in the double header games against, you know, Spartans, Broomhill, etc. You know, East Kilbride was 4 points, and you know, so for that side, you know, that was disappointing. So we need to learn the lessons for that and say, look, this is a semi-final of a cup. Let's get ourselves to a final. It's against a decent side in Spartans, but we're a good side.